carry on, 'cause I know I don't belong here in heaven. Would you hold my hand if I saw you in heaven? Would you help me stand if I saw you in heaven? I'll find my way through night and day, 'cause I know I just can't stay here in heaven. Time can bring you down, time can bend you deep. Time can break your heart, have you begging please, begging beyond the door. There's peace and sure, and I know there'll be no more tears in heaven. Would you know my name if I saw you in heaven? Would it be the same if I saw you in heaven? I must be strong and carry on, 'cause I know I don't belong here in heaven. 'Cause I know I don't belong here in heaven.
I remember when Eric Clapton lost his son, why that song was written. Hello, everyone. I totally did not expect to go live at all. So here we are. I gave you guys 2-minute warning. So all these kid cases are screwing me up for real. But let me give you the background on this case. I don't know. I really didn't know much about it till about 20 minutes ago. I was cleaning and I'm looking for, hey, Bright, hey, Des. I was looking for something to listen to while I was cleaning. And Chasing Truth, I know Chasing Truth has been talking about this kid. So I'm like, oh, you know what? I never really heard her true crime lives. Let me check it out. So I listened to it. I'm like, wow, this is really sad. So then you know how like on your cell phone, YouTube will play something else, related to it. So there was a news story. And it was a pretty good news story talking about how, this kid is missing. I'm going to get into the details. He's 6 years old. He went missing on May 27th. But what's interesting is the last known sighting of him was by a school. All right, let me rephrase that. The last known credible sighting of him was at a school on April 27th. So how this kid has disappeared for a month and nobody's noticed, or nobody has done anything about it, didn't report him missing on May 27th, was kind of weird to begin with. And you don't really know if it's a custody issue or what's going on. So Tim, I forgot his last name, Tim something, from missing children's or missing and exploited children. He was on the case and he said that they've looked everywhere they could possibly look. They don't see anything else, but what they do know is that neither parent is credible. Their both stories make no sense. So that's where it's at right then and there. Then, and the cops said they're doing everything. They're looking for him. You know, it's just nobody's credible. You got a dad who doesn't seem credible. You got a mom who doesn't seem credible. Mom had lost custody. Dad had custody. It seems, according to the girlfriend, dad's girlfriend, that mom showed up with a cop or allegedly a cop, and said, you know, you need to turn over this child. And she did. And the kid disappeared, never heard from again. So why the dad wouldn't call the police to double check is very skeptical too, because why wouldn't you call the police? So when they finally did call on May 27th, I don't know what happened in between or who called who, but the mom said that's not true. That never happened. And the dad said, you know, backed up what the girlfriend said. So this I've all learned in the last 10 minutes. I swear to you, like this is everything I've learned in the last 10, 15 minutes. So then right after that news report was another news report that the body was found, that they're 100%. They're not saying definitively that the body is found, but you know, when the news do that, the body's found, they just don't want to say it, you know, media first. But I'm going to pull up that news report. Hold on. All right, this is the one I had read. I had seen.
Tonight we got breaking news. Police believe they may have found the body of 6-year-old Samuel Olson.
He has been the focus of a massive search effort since last week. Now, sources close to the investigation confirmed to us tonight Houston police are headed to Jasper, Texas, where the body of a young boy was found today. Here's a look at the scene. This is outside a motel in Jasper. You can see there is a lot of police officers out there, some yellow tape blocking off several rooms. Now, the search for the little boy has been confusing and unsettling. We've been telling you Samuel Olson was reported missing last Thursday, but his school says they haven't seen him since April 30th. Police say they have been told different stories from different family members and just couldn't determine who was telling the truth.
Tonight, our Matt Doherty has just arrived at that motel in Jasper. Matt, what can you tell us?
Yeah, we are finding out that a source close to the investigation is confirming for us that they believe that
Natalie, yes, but they also said that the mom isn't credible either. So it's like they didn't know what to go on because nobody was credible.
investigators are investigating the death of the boy at this hotel room. That's 6-year-old Samuel Olson. I want to give you a look at what's happening out here at the Best Western.
You know, he got ripped out of bed.
Jasper, Texas. Over here, you can kind of get an idea of the law enforcement presence out here this evening. We are told that this happened.
Is that who vanished? When the police said it, I did not know who they said they couldn't find. I couldn't determine it.
couple of hours ago is when this discovery was made. Here's just a look at some of the Jasper County Sheriff's deputies, also
So it got
Police
further.
Department,
Okay.
officers, and some others here who are investigating this case right now. Now, we are told that the mother of the 6-year-old boy was notified sometime earlier that this discovery had been made here at this motel. She apparently may be en route to this location, possibly to identify the boy. However, we do not know that for sure. We do know that she was notified earlier that this discovery had been made over here at this hotel. On this side, you can see that some of the law enforcement officers are sort of focusing some of their efforts here at this side of the motel. Don't know which room specifically they're looking at, but they are, it appears, going into one of these doors over here. We don't know exactly what time this discovery was made or who made the discovery. Local officials here have not returned any of our calls and have not been telling us, what may have led up to this finding. However, we do have that one source of ours who is close to the investigation who is telling us that they believe that investigators here think that the body of 6-year-old Samuel Olson has been found. Of course, we're going to continue to follow this story throughout the night, and we're going to bring you updates in our coming newscasts online as well, but also certainly in the morning. Reka, back to you.
Okay. And then I went live. So I don't, literally, all this is within the last few hours. I mean, the last
right now
half
at 10
hour.
o'clock in the search for Samuel Olson. Tonight, a KPRC2 source confirming what was first reported by a radio station in Jasper, Texas, that a child's body has been found in a motel room in that East Texas town.
Jasper police believe the body is that of the 6-year-old boy who's been missing from the Houston area. And tonight, one person has been detained at the scene. But tonight, police are not saying who that person may be.
And as we speak, multiple law enforcement agencies from the Texas Rangers to Houston police are now headed to that motel to actually assist in that investigation. Now, here's what you should know. Jasper is more than 100 miles northeast of Houston, and until tonight, there's been no known connection between that town and this investigation.
We do have live team coverage for you, beginning with KPRC2's Keith Garvin. Keith?
Dominique, Chris, Samuel's mother, Sarah Olson, is very distraught tonight. We're told she is not able to speak without breaking down. So her attorneys representing her in a child custody case, they spoke on her behalf. And those attorneys learned of this possibility at the end of the press conference they were holding. And this, of course, not the news they were hoping for. Now, it is KJAS out of Jasper and also a KPRC2 source that have confirmed to us that a body found in a motel in the East Texas town of Jasper, they believe is possibly that of 6-year-old Samuel Olson.
That's what I said,
The
Hounds.
KJAS report says officers were apparently called to the Best Western Inn at the 200 block of West Gibson Street shortly before 6 o'clock this evening when it was reported that the body had been found. Our source also tells us that a woman has been detained after this discovery. Jasper's police chief did not release many other details, but he did say the body of the child was found in a tote bag. He also said there were indications that the body had been there for quite some time. The attorneys for Sarah Olson, Samuel's mother, learned of this possibility at the end of this evening's news conference. Attorney Marco Gonzalez himself was visibly upset and said he did not know how he would break the news to Sarah Olson.
We just learned this literally 10 seconds ago, we just want to call our client, Sarah, and I'm at a loss for
I
words.
agree, Quinny.
If I'm at a loss for words now with you, then I don't know what to say to her.
Sarah Olson's attorneys told us that although she has primary custody of Samuel, she has not had physical contact with him since January of 2020. That is when they say his father did not return him after a visitation handoff. They say court delays largely caused by the pandemic slowed down reunification proceedings. And we now know that this evening she was dealing with this very, very terrible news out of Jasper. Reporting live from near Southeast Houston, Keith Garvin, KPRC 2 News.
Well, we know the mom wasn't arrested, so it wasn't her. That's crazy.
Now at 6 o'clock, a missing child mystery. Where is Sam?
Gators trust and family clues.
It's a case full of questions and very few answers. One of the most pressing questions tonight, just how long has Samuel been missing? At first, police were told.
All right, that was the one I saw that led me to it. But to put him in a tote bag, how do you put a 6-year-old in a tote bag? That's disgusting. This poor child. Who puts a child in a tote bag? That's sick. Absolutely sick. The poor little, like who does that? And the smell? Can you imagine the smell? I agree. How do you kill a 6-year-old? But how do you kill a 6-year-old and stick him in a tote bag like he's nothing? Same person who could kill him, exactly. And I know Chasing Truth is going to be upset because she's been covering this case for a couple days. And crazy. Yeah, it's definitely not the answer anyone was looking for. I have to say it was kind of weird though, how I only watched 3 videos and the last one was that he was found dead. I was like, well, that was quick. Crazy though. Absolutely crazy. So we know the mom wasn't arrested, and now it's just a matter of the dad's girlfriend, or was it somebody else? Hey, Bonnie Bell, or it was somebody else. Now, let me explain something though, Lucy's World. A lot of people don't know this or realize this. When it comes to joint custody of unmarried parents, each one of them, and most states are pretty much the same, each one of them has equal rights to the child. Until a court order is placed, until a court order is specifically involved, the parent does not have to give a child back. Will that put them in contempt? Yes, it will. But it doesn't. They don't have to give the child back. When there's a court order in place and it's definitive, then yes, they have to, put the child back. The fact that the mom waited this long, I understand courts, were tough in the beginning, but she hasn't had him since January. Corona didn't close in January. So I'm not buying that. I think the mom's lying too, because I get that she would have had to go through some red tape. Absolutely. But she had an attorney. So she was obviously still fighting a custody order. And I don't think it was set in place yet. That I haven't heard anything definitive, but I'm pretty sure that there was no definitive court order in place. And that's why the mom couldn't do anything. The mom had an attorney. I don't know why he couldn't do anything. The woman who tricked her husband into a trust game had him get into a big tote bag. So, oh no, I don't remember that. 30. I just heard 30 minutes ago too. Neither parent is innocent. I agree with that, Adrian. That's what I'm saying. I don't think either one are innocent either. Until a judge changes it, exactly. That's the one thing I'll say about my lawyer. My lawyer established it immediately. Like, we still had 6 years of court ahead, but it was established immediately because of child support that I have physical custody. He wanted to overturn it and get physical custody, but my lawyer established immediately that I have physical custody. And it worked because it's much harder to overturn a custody ruling than it is to have the initial. You have to, I agree. What happened with what? With this case, they most likely found him dead in the hotel in a tote bag. They don't know. There was a female that was arrested, but that's the only details we have so far. We don't have anything else. But he was found about, what did they say, 150 miles away in Jasper, Texas, in a hotel, and they believe he was there for a long time. It's sad. It's really sad. And that's what I have on this case. Interestingly enough, I got another couple shorts for you. Hold on, let me pull you up on YouTube so I can see everyone. Well, wrong channel. All right. That didn't sound good. My kid's dad threatens to tie me up and kidnap our kids and take them to Mexico. He said before I was found, they would be there. Wow. He tried it, but he messed with the wrong one. I went through 6 years of court. I went through 6 years of court battles. Believe me, I understand those court battles. 265 court appearances and over 6 years. Attorney versus attorney versus attorney versus attorney. It was horrible. I don't wish it on anybody. So it's fitting that unfortunately he was able to fit in a tope. That's true. Ah, good point. Wonder what they consider a long time. Well, the last time that anyone saw him was April. So I'm assuming that's probably how long. But I wonder who the female was that got arrested. I wonder if it was the girlfriend or if it was somebody else. Hey, best nail tech ever. A long time no see. Haven't seen you in forever. So Scott Peterson is in the news because Scott Peterson is hoping to get a new trial. They have decided that they're not going to go for the death penalty because her family doesn't want to deal with it. They don't want to go through that again. So they're taking the death penalty off the table. So he's not going to face that, but they believe that he should get a new trial based on a lot of things. I'm sure it's a female's girl. Maybe. Bonnie, I did that too a couple times, but it went on too long. And they not rented that room. I'm thinking that they paid for the room for the month. That's what I'm thinking. Yes, it was confirmed. Well, no, they're not going to tell you 100, 150% it was confirmed, Tiffany, but news aren't going to say that unless they know. They're just not telling you that because the family hasn't even been there to identify him yet. But the news has never said that, and then it turns out that it's not. They have those inside sources. But a female was arrested. So kidnapping, killing, absolutely, Quinny. The 100%. It's just horrible. Absolutely horrible. So there's another case that is in trial now or starting trial. I think they said it's starting trial about a father who killed his kid. It's a very interesting story. I want to see how the trial plays out. This guy who's supposedly mentally ill killed his child, They later brought him in a couple of weeks later to confess. He confessed. Good morning, Jules. He confessed to this murder, brought the cops to where he said that he buried them, and there was no body. They have not found a body since. They have never found a body of this child. This guy is now on trial. What the experts say is that it's great reasonable doubt, because if he's mentally ill, this could be the perfect murder. He brought him there, and there's no body. There's no physical evidence that this guy killed his kid. We just know we have a missing kid. I thought it was very, very interesting. It's going to be let me get the name. And I believe the trial is starting. Why are you saying Laura? I believe the trial is starting. Damn it, I can't find it. Hold on. I don't remember the guy's name or even the state, so I'm going to go back to the place I found it. Hold on. All right.
Private attorney is paid for by the taxpayers. That's actually what he wants. He wants Pat Harris, who represents, again, follow
or private attorney
by.
All right, jury selection underway.
Jury selection is underway in the Tennessee trial of a father accused of murdering his 5-year-old son and hiding the body.
Okay.
Joseph Ray Daniels called 911 on April 4th, 2018 to report his son as missing. Daniels said his 5-year-old with autism, Joe Clyde Daniels, known as Baby Joe, was last seen the night before.
I did not know where he was on.
Okay, do you see nonverbal or is he verbal?
It's nonverbal.
Nonverbal.
A search was launched for Baby Joe in Dickinson County. State investigators were called in. But 3 days later, those investigators said Daniels confessed to murdering his son.
His exact words was he was bleeding, but he said he did not see blood.
Daniel reportedly said during a 5-hour interrogation that he hit Baby Joey until the boy stopped crying. Daniels described putting the boy in the trunk of his car and leaving his body in a field. Daniels took investigators to that location, but the 5-year-old's body has never been found. Daniel has since recanted. His defense says he suffers.
Isn't that crazy, though? So Joseph Ray Daniels. Originally, it was Best Tech. The first half of this video is. So Joseph Ray Daniels. Hold on. That's right. And the mother, here's a good video. Hold on.
The father of Joe Clyde was arrested after investigation was conducted that charged him with criminal homicide. He's now in Dixon County Jail under a $1 million bond, and he's admitted to killing Joe Clyde. And our efforts now are focusing on the recovery of Joe Clyde.
Well, that's sad. Hounds, that's gross. All right. Where is this trial taking place? He's being charged with criminal homicide. His wife's being charged with aggravated child neglect and endangerment. See, now what they're doing in this trial, though, which is interesting, they're sequestering the jury and they're driving the jury by bus to a neighboring town. No, this one is in Tennessee. But I wonder how far it is from me and if it'll be an open court. If it's open court, I'll go to the trial. Dixon County. It's just shown in the Dixon and Charlotte. Oh, it's Nashville, I think. Where is... All right. I'll be housed in Dixon County Jail during the trial. So it's in Dixon County. Two and a half hours. That's not bad, though. Yeah, 2.5 hours. Do I want to do it every day? Probably not. I'm beside myself at the moment. Well, we don't know yet. Let me see if there's an update. Which kid? The original one or this one? Which one? There's a lot of them. No, it's nothing. Everything is more than an hour ago. Yeah, everything's more than an hour ago. There's nothing new. Samuel's father, Dalton Olson, and his girlfriend, Teresa Balboa, told investigators that the boy was last seen Thursday. Spokeswoman for the DCF would not confirm what custody of the boy. Gonzalez said his client had primary custody and was denied for many months. He said Sarah hasn't had access. Boy's body found a pond in Jacksonville. Really? It's crazy. If you just pull up children missing or children dead, there's tons of them. Sad but true. Six-year-old. It comes up Jasper. I mean, it comes up for Samuel. Hang on. Who's this Timothy Pitzen? That's kind of scary.
Six, police just released this picture on the right of what they believe he would look like today. NBC5's Patrick Fazio has more from Aurora.
Police say they are still receiving tips about the missing Aurora boy, but they haven't had any solid leads in a while. His family hopes someone recognizes what he might look like now.
I know deep in my heart that Timothy is out there. Timothy is alive, and I know that one day we will see him again.
Kara Jacobs hopes this just released age progression photo of her nephew, Timothy Pitzen, will lead to tips to bring him home.
We think a lot about where Tim is and what he's doing and all the things that we've missed. As he would be 16, he'll be doing things like experiencing sports in high school.
Timothy disappeared a decade ago as a 6-year-old with his mom. His dad, Jim, reported his wife and son missing to police.
Jim, more than anybody, lost his son, he lost his wife, and he lost his family and his future all in one day.
Jim's wife, Amy, was found dead inside a Rockford motel. Investigators say she took her own life and left a note saying Timothy would be well taken care of, but there was no sign of Timothy.
It haunts everybody who works on this case because it's the unknown. We don't know, is Timothy out there alive somewhere? Is he with some people that Amy, selected and gave him to.
Aurora police are still investigating Timothy's disappearance, saying he could be in Illinois, Wisconsin, or Iowa.
Those are just the areas that we know that Amy and Timothy traveled during those times, knowing her phone activity.
Timothy's family hopes someone recognizes the now 16-year-old so he can be reunited with his dad and family.
Timothy has so many people that love him and so many people that just can't wait for that day.
His family urges you to take a look not only at Timothy's picture, but other missing kids from our area. You can see their photos on the website missingkids.org.
Dude, that's insane. I don't remember that case. That's insane. Whoop. That is absolutely insane. That's sad. That's crazy, though. I don't know. I'd rather have a kid dead than missing. Missing has got to be the worst. At least if a child dies, you can put it to rest and move on. When a kid is missing, it's all you obsess over night and day, 24/7. I couldn't even imagine. Could not even imagine. Knock on wood. Kids don't just disappear. She really wrote the note and took her own life. That's true. You never know. It's crazy, though. Absolutely crazy. What is wrong with people? Jeez. Mr. Jamie. Can never be too concerned about the missing. I don't think you said that right. You can never not be too concerned. You mean you can never not be too concerned. Right? You can never not be too concerned. Not we can never be too concerned. I know what you meant, though. It's crazy. So that's all I have for you guys. I just want to give you guys a quick update on the case. As I was watching it, I said, you know what? I got to let everyone know. Sad. Definitely sad. I don't know. There's nothing that my kids can do that would make me want to kill them. There's just nothing. And I know I did some things that would make my father want to kill me or my mom want to kill me. But I couldn't. There's nothing I could think my kids doing that would make me physically kill them. Even like I was once joking around with Dayton. I was like, come here, let me put my hands around your neck and see how you like it. See how if I can do it. I couldn't even do it. I mean, granted, he was cracking up, but I couldn't even do it. You just can't. I just can't. Or these family annihilators, or these people that kill their parents. I mean, kill their kids just to hurt the other parent. Like, you have to be some wacko. Actually, I might as well tell you guys. The case that I'm going to talk about this week, too, is Andrea Yates. She's been kind of in the news because it's been 20 years, and she's doing better. And she's actually like a spokesperson in prison or in the mental facility she's in, and she's been taking her medicine, and I don't think the woman should ever get out. I cry my kids. Exactly. Always love. I still cry at school meetings. Like, and I don't have them anymore, but I couldn't even do school meetings because I cry. Every time I went to a school meeting for them, I cried. Yeah, Andrea Yates. Andrea, if you're not familiar with Andrea Yates, she was the mom that killed all 5 of her kids one by one by drowning them in a bathtub and then laying them on the bed or laying them out saying, God, no, she wasn't executed. She was deemed mentally insane. And now she's been on drugs and she's all better. And she could get out. Sad. You know what, though? I hate to say it. I don't want to be around in 50 years. I don't even want to know what my grandkids are going to have to go through and how the world has changed and how fast. Like, I'm glad I grew up in the way I grew up. She is truly disturbed. I agree. But I'm glad I grew up at the time I grew up in. I would not want to be born in 2030. Hell to the no. Just hell to the no on that. Nope. So, I got to go back to my cleaning before I get too tired and have to go to bed. But I will see you all tomorrow. I just wanted to give you an update. Kiss your kids. Make sure you love them. And don't kill them. Don't kill your kids. It's not a good look. They didn't be judged from everybody. It's just not a good look. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a wonderful night. Peace. I won't have grandkids to live through the hell. Aw. All right, I'll see you guys later.